welcome to the yet to be named Magic the Gathering podcast. This is the second part of our chat with Will Hall, and as we are enjoying it so much, we decided to split this pod into two halves. So without delay, let's get straight back into it.
But like it's, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't even know how this started. What are we doing again? What are we talking about? Oh, how are you guys? Are you good? How's your day been?
We're just chatting, and this is the beauty of it. But I tell you what, just what would be like pie in the sky stuff? What would be your dream gig? Like, if there's only one thing, no, come on. If there's only one thing you could do left, like, what would be the dream gig?
There is a show I haven't done that one. Oh, so to me, yes, I did the Pro Tour, but I was a replacement, right time, right place, as I spoke about. And arguably, in some instances, there was other people that should have had that shot over me. It was a European Pro Tour. I was in the right place at the right time, knowing the right people. I do still think I earned it and did a good job, but
I think you did a really good job. I just wanted to say, I was there with you, and I did watch some of.
Oh man!
And honestly, like, I think you done a great job, and I think you done a great job for the UK side of things as well. I really do.
I would love to continue doing that. I would love to be a mainstay on the Pro Tour. I think that is a gig that I haven't got. I've been on the Pro Tour. I arguably have all the Pro Tours there's ever been. Done the one I would have picked on paper as well. So I can't really moan too much, but I would love to be a mainstay on the PT. A show I've never done is the online championships. Mocks.
Yeah.
And I've done the arena championships. I was extremely ill when we did it, and I wasn't really briefed on how the show ran, if that makes sense. Okay. So with like legacy gigs and other gigs, you're kind of given a bit of free reign to talk about. On that, it was very much. Okay, opens the show at 5 o'clock. At 5:02, talk about this side. At 5:02, talk about this, and it's all very scripted because obviously it's a show. It's got a high budget production on it. But the first time I saw that was basically like 30 minutes before we went live. I was like, "What is this?" I didn't really know how to do it. And then I was also ill as fuck. I was literally shitting through the eye of a needle, and I was shaking. And in between, I was not in a good place. But I didn't want to cancel. I didn't want to be the guy that lets down the whole show. 30 minutes before we go live. So I fought through it. Probably I did an alright gig, but probably one of my worst gigs. But I just think because I was ill. I would love to do the arena championships again, but if I could pick an online one, it would be the Magic Online one, because it's just a 8-person field, 3 rounds of cube, which everyone loves vintage cube. I love vintage cube. Oh, yeah. And then it was, there's always 3 rounds of, it could be pauper, standard, pioneer, modern, legacy, vintage. It could be a big format that I'm very passionate in. Like the last one was modern, and that's another 3 rounds. And then you have a final, so 7 rounds total. I would love to do that. I hope that I'll get a chance to do it in the future. Is the only one really on my hit list that I haven't done of big shows.
Nice. It's a good one. It's a good one to choose for, to be honest.
It's not the biggest show in the world. It's not like huge. It's just, to me, it's the big 3 is the Pro Tour, the Arena Championships, and the mocks. I think they're the big 3 shows in Magic. You get the one-off, like Red Bull events and Twitch rivals and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But they're the 3 consistent ones that I would love to, be consistently on, so to speak. Like I say, I look up to Corey. Corey is a staple in it, and rightfully so, he should be a staple in it. He is literally next level. Like I can't say enough about that, man. I always will have that guy's back no matter what, because even in some bad times that I've had in the last couple of years when it comes to roles on Magic, he's still the guy DMing me, going about. He's like, "You've just made it. That's all it is." Like this bad thing that's happening right now, it just means that you made it. It's always going to happen. People, it's the internet. Just don't walk off with that back type thing. And I also think that I'm like, I've had real world problems. I've been in scenarios where there's not running water, and I'm having to drink out of bottles, and the water is now contaminated. Those bottles have been told we can't drink them, but you got to drink them. And I've been in real problem situations. Having an online faff is not a problem to me. That is just okay. Well, it is what it is. I'm this week's flavor of the month, so to speak. It'll blow over. It always does. It's never going to be anyone that's not met me. Everyone that's met me knows that I'm. No one's I've met has ever had a problem with me, so to speak. And if they have, it's been able to be resolved. I think who was it? Was it Christian Bale that said, if you got a problem with me, text me. If you can't text me, you don't have my number, then you don't matter to me, or something like that.
Right, okay.
I don't know the exact saying, but like that saying is awesome. You know what I mean? Like, if you met me, cool. You slide in my DMs. If you can't slide in my DMs, then I don't care about your problem. It's not a me problem. And I think I like that quote. I'm going to find it. I'll DM you it.
I think that's just the internet through and through, though, isn't it? At the end of the day,
Oh, yeah.
You know, let's be honest. The internet is an incredible thing. It can also be the worst.
You only really hear the vocal minority.
There is that as well.
Oh, yeah. And you know, even in some instances, they just jump on the bandwagon. It's not like they've got their own opinion of it. They haven't like gone to the source and seen whatever it is that everyone's talking about, and they had their own opinion on it. It's go with the public opinion to and I hate that. And even like just any controversial thing, like, you know, COVID, vaccinations, politicians vote. Obviously UK, we're about to have we're about to vote to who's going to be the next prime minister, etc. I'll never judge anybody or try to sway anybody to vote how I vote or judge them on how they vote. And same with any sort of online opinion with whatever topic it is. I just say do research. Just research what this is about and pick which one's best for you. Don't go by what Susan on Twitter or Facebook says about COVID. You know what I mean? Like it's just do your research on it and make your own decision. If enough of us do that, you know, the majority is going to win, and then that's going to be how things go forward. But it's very not like that, especially on online cultures. It is I call it the mob. I just say it starts with 1, then goes to 2 to 4 to 8, and
escalates.
It escalates, especially when it comes to bad things. Never escalates for good things. Isn't that weird? It's like the news. There's never anything good in the news. The news is always just negative things. Someone's done this. Someone's bad's happened here. Something this has happened. And I understand it because it
gets the attention.
Big shock. It gets the clicks, which in the end of the day gets the money. And you know, that's why we have clickbait titles on YouTube videos like, oh my god, deck is broken, oh this is the most powerful thing ever, oh my god, you were turn 2 wins, turn 1 wins,
ban it now.
I mean, it is what it is. It's I understand why we do them. It's just not my thing.
Problem is, if you don't play the game, you miss out on the game, but you play the game, you moan about the game. Do you know what I mean? You know, just going full circle back to YouTube, that's exactly what it is. I mean, all these things you've just sort of said, I mean, the amount of times when I've thought about doing something and I thought, oh, that'd be a good idea. And I'm just like, but it looks like I'm clickbaiting, or it looks like I'm doing A, B, and C. And then because I don't like seeing it. You know, when you see those type of videos, just like, oh my God, the worst scenario in the world. And you're like, well, it's not going to be, is it? It's going to be you talking about nothing.
Thumbnails of this.
Yeah.
There we go. That's thumbnails for the
hold on, guys. We need a thumbnail for that. All of us like,
I hate it. I literally hate it. It's the
world we live in, unfortunately, isn't it? It doesn't make it any better, but
no, it doesn't make it any better. But it goes back to that thing. Like I said, I feel like if you work hard and you do good content, it deserves the reward that it should get. Unfortunately, we're in this world where clickbaits and views associate to more than good hard work, but that's just how it is. Again, ego kicking in. I'm like, nope, I will not go to that level. No, I've got lots of friends that do it, and they make successful content creation lifestyles out of it.
I'm sure there's guys in the army that you look at and you'd be like, you do not deserve what you've just been given, but you've been given it, and vice versa. I'm sure it's the same. It's definitely the same.
That is weird, actually, thinking of it. So there's no one in the Marines I've ever felt that for.
Okay.
But that's the difference of the Marines to the Army.
I was going to say, is that
right?
the difference? Yeah.
It is the difference.
Everybody earns their stripes first, and then you work
I have to educate people on this all the time, so I'm going to educate everybody that listens to this. The difference between the Army and the Royal Marines is the Army do 9 weeks basic training, the Royal Marines do 9 months of the world's hardest basic training. The percentage that pass out, I started with 65 guys in my troop. Only 12 of us finished, and that's a high number. Like our troop just was a particularly strong troop with only 12 of us finishing. And the way that I say that I don't ever look at anyone and go, okay, they shouldn't be here, is because everyone's done the exact same thing to get there. It doesn't matter, because I'm a big guy, 6'2", like 200 kilograms. There's lads that are like 5'4" and only like 100 and whatever kilograms. But I know if I get shot, even though I weigh more than him and I've got the same kit on as him, he can pick me up and take me off that battlefield, because that's what we've done in training. I know that we can all do the exact same thing, and that gives you that makes us so good that I know the guys to the left and the right of me can do it because they've done the job. We've all gone through the exact same thing where, in the Army, the Navy, RAF, it's not like that. It's not that sort of training. It's very much, here's the basics in case you never need to do it, and then they get trained in a specialization. Royal Marines, their first job is to be a soldier, and then we do our specialist training after that. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what, on paper, you are an elite soldier to start with, and then you are, whatever trade you are at that point in your career. So yeah, it's interesting. I've never looked at someone and gone, obviously in Bants you do, because we're very Bants oriented. Like, how did you slip through the net? You know what I mean? Like, it must have been easy week that week or something. But on the face of it, I've never looked at another Marine and gone, how did you get it? Which is nice. You know what I mean? If you go to war, that is exactly what you want next to you. You don't want to see someone next to you and be like, how did you get it? And almost that they're a liability. That is you just can't efficiently be effective in that mental scenario, because there's so much going through your head already at that point.
Yeah.
I think, like you just said, you know exactly how they got there.
Oh, yeah.
Doing it you've done.
Exactly. The blood, sweat, and tears, the lack of sleep, and just going through hell and being rebuilt. And yeah, don't get me wrong, I would not change it in the world. I never meant to be a Royal Marine. I never meant to join the military. It all was just, again, me never saying no. I wanted to be a bodyguard originally. That was the first thing I ever wanted to be. I wanted to be a bodyguard in my adult life. I was like, right, I want to protect people. I want to help people. Weird. And then I was like, right, the best way I'm going to do that is by using guns. If I join the army, I can use guns. So I was like, okay, I'm going to join the army. So I was in the gym, running, doing weights and stuff, and telling people I'm going to be in the army. And then this guy came over to me and goes, oh, I hear you're going in the army. I'm like, yeah. He goes, oh, I'm going in the Royal Marines. So I went, what's the difference? I had no idea. He just literally said these words to me. He went, the Marines are better. That was 19 years ago. I never looked back. From the day he said those words to me in the gym, I was like, well, I'm going to be a Royal Marine then. Man, did he see me off. Like, I did not know how hard it was going to be. But, I recruitment office was like, I want to be a Royal Marine. They obviously bit my hand off because it's hard to be a Royal Marine. They're like, yeah, sure, you can do it. And you got to go do your initial tests and stuff. And then you get there and do the basic training. And yeah, that's... I thank him every time I see him. I'm like, just give me the best life choice I've ever made. Even though it was hard, but it set me up for my whole life. My life is sorted because I was a Royal Marine. Like, it taught me all the basics, everything I need to succeed in life in general, beyond the Royal Marines whenever I actually leave. I've got 4 years left, technically 9 now. They actually gave me an extra 5 years the other day. Like, hey, we're going to give you an extra 5 years on your career. I was like, sweet, more pension. But that's a little origin story as well. Before Magic. That's the origin story before Magic.
There you go.
There you go, indeed.
It is weird when I have to tell people what I'm going away for, though. So when I qualified for the Pro Tour, I was like, like a very low rank. And I had to go to my sergeant and be like, so I play this card game. It's a bit like Pokemon. And I did well in it. And I now need some time off to go to Nashville to play in a tournament for like $50,000. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because the Royal Marines is full of like alpha males. You know what I mean? Like, it's every friend group that you've ever been part of, there's like an alpha male in that group. That's the people that recruit into Royal Marine training. And then out of all those alpha males, they only take the alpha males of the alpha males. And you know what I mean? That's kind of like the in quotes, if I was to explain what sort of people we get into the Royal Marines. And so I had to tell this guy, sports and rugby and gym and all that sort of stuff is like our main priorities, and war, that I want to go play Pokemon in another country for money. And he was like, what the fuck are you talking about? But he gave me the time off, and I was able to go to Nashville and play on the Pro Tour. And it was awesome. And met some amazing people there, which is, again, another amazing memory made because of Magic the Gathering.
Sweet.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's such an incredible community, and we've all now sort of been going abroad and doing Magic stuff, and it's just you know, it is the community that keeps you going, and you bump into those people like, oh, hey, you know, last time I saw you was at Barcelona. How's things been going? Blah, blah. It's just the community is fantastic, isn't it?
It's the weirdest thing when people ask for a photo to take. Can you sign a card? I'm like, you're me in the photo. Like someone the other day, this weekend, I was there talking to Martin User, and a guy comes over and he's like, "I can have a photo," and I was like, "Yeah, do you want me to take it?" And he passed me the phone and hugged us both, and I was like, "No, I meant of you two." He's like, "No, I want you as well." I was like, "Oh," so I basically just asked like take a selfie. I didn't mean, like to me, I'm still just a random at this event that I just happen to be on camera occasionally, but I'm no different to anybody else. It's weird. And then they're like, "Oh, can you sign my card?" I'm like, "I'm gonna devalue your card if I sign this card. You're fully aware of this, right? You're giving me consent to draw on this card." And they're like, "Yeah, sure." I'm like, "Okay, cool." It's that's why I kind of I've gone to like the token thing where I pay my guy to make tokens, because I can give people things now if they want them. I can draw all over that, and I don't feel like I'm devaluing something of theirs. It's I don't think it's anything I'll ever get used to, so to speak, or you know, the whole clout thing. I even say to like Alex Axion, who, by the way, I love Alex. I think he's awesome.
Yeah,
he does such a good job. And that's not just kissing his ass. I'll tell him he does a bad job at times as well. But even at like Command Fest, I'm like, Alex, I'm the wrong person to invite to this event. I don't play Commander. I don't know anybody here besides the content creators. Like I feel like someone else could take my slot in this. But then when it comes to the Mega Moderns and the competitive events, like that's the events I should be going to. And you know, Alex is like, no, but I kind of want you here. You're good with people. You can interact and talk, and you know, and I've got no dramas ever doing that. Like I'll talk to anybody at any moment about anything, even if it is EDH. I'll be like, "Oh yeah, cool. So you got
I've played a game before."
Cards. Yeah, but I got a game in the books. Don't know if you saw. I'm kind of I'm 1-0 in Commander.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a big deal. You can touch me if you want.
How did you get on at the Pack Wars? You did some Pack Wars, didn't you?
Yeah, I was doing Pack Wars, and I wasn't very good at Pack Wars.
No, behave.
I feel like I'm okay at Pack Wars.
Behave. Right, hold on. What Will was not telling you is that when I was playing my Pack Wars with Will and I was sat next to Charlie, he was playing both of us at the same time. It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
It's because it's like fun but competitive, right? Like I'm down to doing fun things like that. But I still open no value. Who is it who opened like 2 Vein Rippers? Just like, oh, cool, you just opened like 80 quid. I think that was Woody from it might have been Woody, actually.
The name's just gone for me. So he opened one in front of me. He sat down with me, and I think he sat down with Josh and opened a Vein Ripper. I think he opened a foil Vein Ripper or something like that as well. Like,
Must
he done
be
good.
Nice. Must be nice.
I mean, I pulled 2 mole gods, and I was pretty happy with that.
No, he killed me on turn 2 with a mole god.
That sounds like something Emma would do.
Yeah.
This is another reason why I don't open products, right? Because I feel like I always open rubbish. So I'd much rather get the enjoyment of giving the pack to someone and letting them open it and watch their enjoyment of it.
There is something nice about that. Like that's something like I've done a few pack giveaways now, and you know so when we was doing the Pack Wars, I was given extra packs on day 2 myself, because what was really nice is people open in front of you and they're like, "Oh my god, like I've pulled a such and such," and you just and you're like, "That's amazing, man!" Like I love that feeling. I love that feeling of watching someone. It's great, absolutely.
That's
great.
What like I take a lot of people to America, to Disneyland. This sounds weird, right? So just another thing, I'm watching other people. So I go to like Orlando at least once a year, for either a holiday or for work. Like I was there. I just got engaged there about a month ago.
Congratulations,
I'm going at the end of the year for work. Cheers. Right. And my joy from going to these things is taking new people that have never been before, because I've been like, you know, tens of times at this point. I actually have a year season ticket for Universal Studios, and I live in the UK.
Nice.
That's how much I go. And but like I can show people, right, this is the way we should go. This is the right like sequence to do things in to get the most out of your day. I enjoy seeing them see the fireworks for the first time. We're seeing Disney castles, and that's where I get my enjoyment for going to things, is seeing others' enjoyment from it. And it's same in Magic. love seeing other people enjoy the content of watching content. I love seeing people win their prizes. I love being able to give the winners interviews and giving pack giveaways and stuff like this. It's just seeing other people's joy from it gives me the joy, not the other way around. Because I told you, I'm a dirty competitive player. I only get joy when I win, and that doesn't happen very often. You know what I mean? So it's that's where I kind of get my joy of content creation from, and the whole growing a TikTok, YouTube, Twitter and stuff. That's just a step to be able to do more of that type of stuff.
Yeah,
that's one day, when I actually relieve the military and I decide what I actually want to do, maybe I'll try and give content creation a real go, and as a full-time job, and see how far I can really push it. And until that point, every day is just a learning experience, right? Like learn something new every day,
100%
in one aspect or not.
100%. I think you'd do pretty well at that, Will. I think for multiple reasons. Your passion.
I would try.
No, but in all honesty, this is not inserting nose into arse cheeks, but you've got the passion and you've got the love of it, and that's half of it. Because when you watch passionate people do, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be building computers, putting shoes on horses' feet. It doesn't matter what it is. You watch someone be passionate about it, you can't help but be like, that's just really interesting. Like you just can't help yourself. So that's half of it, isn't it?
I like, it seems great when I get to travel all the time and I'm always at these shows and stuff. There's a lot of shows I've done for free. Like just because there's people out there, there's TOs that I love. I think that they do such a good job for their communities and they want to pay me, and I say no. I'm like, no. I don't want to do a giveaway or something. Like give me some free tickets to give to your event or whatever. Like I'd rather be paid in that than actual money for me. And like I've got a Paupergeddon coming up in Pisa, which is going to be like 1,000-player Pauper event, which now can actually qualify for the Pro Tour. But the organizer of that is Boost MTG, BOOSE MTG, Italian guy in Pisa, loves his like horror and mummy sort of like grungy type stuff. So he always makes like zombie tokens and zombie playmats and blah 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 blah. You've seen my Ragavan playmat, right? It's that guy. And he's so passionate for the players and puts on these events at like dirt cheap prices. It's like £30 to enter. Yeah. And if you do, like, it's always going to be, you're always going to get something, blah, blah. He's amazing. And I said to him, I'll literally do anything for that guy if he asks. I would fly to another country and commentate. And that's what I'm doing at Paupergeddon. I'm flying there. I said, I'm not going to, he goes like, what do you want? I went, get my flight. Like that's all I want. If you pay me to get there, I'll do the whole weekend for free. Yep. Just because I want you to succeed, and that's why I would say with Axion, I want Axion to succeed. I just want more paper magic, and these are the people I see pitting. They're passionate about it, so I'm more than happy to add what little I can to that, without any sort of benefit of a reap of reward or gain from it. It's nice when you get paid for things, but again, I have a day job. I don't need the money. It's nice, as ignorant as that sounds, or big head or whatever. I have a day job that pays my bills, that keeps my lights on. It lets me do what I want to do. But like this is a hobby. If I wasn't doing it, I'd be at home watching it or taking part in it in some way. And now I'm trying to get into Lorcana. God, that's a nightmare as well. You guys into a Lorcana yet?
I can't.
I played an intro game at MCM Comic Con last year and got a Gaston promo, and I liked the way it played. Yeah.
It's only getting better now as well because there's more sets. You know what I mean? Back then at the MCA, there's only one set, so it's very, very basic of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where now there's a few more sets out there. It's a bit more complicated, and coming from Magic, you've already got an idea of what resources are and how to kind of get 2-for-1s and what's good and what's bad. Just doing that gives you already one up on the rest of the competition that turns up to these events, and it's the only TCG that I've seen, and I've jumped on a few bandwagons in my time, that has got the collectability of Pokemon, but the playing competitiveness of Magic. And that's never happened. Like Pokemon is a really fun game to play, but the value is not in how good the card is, it's in how collectible it is, Charizards, etc.
Yeah.
In this one, it's kind of a mix of both. And it's really cool to see. Obviously, they just had their big event at the weekend. Frank Carsten took it down, which you'd love to see. MTG Hall of Famer, the mathematical genius he is, was able to win it. And he probably won a house this weekend, realistically. Like the promos in
some
that
of the
game.
Cards are insane.
Well, I saw I saw someone trying to sell one, or is selling one of the playmats on eBay at the minute for over €2,000.
Wow.
I think there's only like 200 of them made, and it was on the prize wall or something. But then the promo cards, so they had, the way that it works in Lorcan, at least for the events at the minute, is turning up, you get a promo. Making top 64, you get another promo. Top 32, you get another promo. Top 16, you get another promo. Top 8, you get another promo. Top 4, top 2, winner. Okay, and like obviously the least amount of each promo as you got up the ladder, so to speak. And someone that got to top 32, I think, so that's 3 promos, was selling them, and like combined was 20 grand. Wow. And that's for top 32. Wow. So like for what Frank's got and being the first one, if he was going to sell them, he's easily going to probably get over 100 grand. Some whales out there, because they've got it's Disney. Disney is such a huge IP and only going to get bigger. And having something that's collectible, card games is like a big thing. You see that resurgence of Pokemon came out when we were kids, right? I imagine you're around the same age as me. Yeah. So Pokemon came out, and then our dads didn't know what that was. They were just like, okay, we'll buy some kids, or whatever, buy some cards to shut you up for a little bit. And then now we've grown up, and it's now kind of getting another, like TCGs and stuff are getting a resurgence, especially since Logan Paul did it. And now we've all got kids. I don't have a kid, but people our age have kids. So now they're able to get into this game with their kids. So they've got the collectability. They've now got the money as well to be in the collectible position. Yeah. And now they're able to get their kids into it. So it's like that big gap. So maybe we'll see another jump in another 10, 15, 20 years of another big, huge resurgence of TCGs, because our kids are going to grow up with it and blah, 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 and you kind of see this spike in it. So that's what you're seeing it with Lorcana right now, having this huge IP, an actual playable game that is competitive. It does still have some issues. It's very snowbally, but it is what it is. If it matters, it's really, really cool. I'm trying to get into coverage of that at the minute, but it's very hard because Disney have the final say, from what I'm hearing from people that work behind the biz. So you could be the best MTG cast in the world, but if Disney say no, you ain't getting in. And
all right, that's a tight one. That's probably a tight gig, but once you've got it, that's I
hope so.
Yeah,
what I mean. One day, maybe I'll get it. I'm hopeful. Like this was the last regional champions. I think. Maybe Philippa as well. Actually, we might be the only two that have done every regional champion. I'm not sure. Maybe she missed one, but I've done every regional championships there is in Europe. Like I've not missed one. I was always the consistent that did it on every single one. So I'm hoping the next tournament organizer, tournament center, are gonna like reach out and get us there. I hear rumblings, but no one really knows anything. But I'm hoping I can continue doing that. I think it's a cool achievement. I've done all 6. I'd like to continue doing all 6. It's the biggest events we have in Europe besides the Pro Tour. And then, maybe that'll lead to jobs at the Pro Tour. Like obviously Philippa's she's got a job at Pro Tour. She's able to do, she's doing the main stage.
Yeah, she does the main stage stuff, doesn't she? Yeah. I've seen. I saw her at Barcelona. I've seen her a few times actually. She just nails it. Absolutely nails it as well.
She's passionate about it, and she just knows the score. You know what I mean? Like she's always improving. That's the other thing is like English isn't her first language, and she's fully aware that English speaking is the way to go in content creation, because the majority of the audience is going to be English. And she's getting better and better, and the more she hangs out with me, like I got nothing but love for her. She is amazing. I'm friends with her and her boyfriend, and we always get on, and we're always spinning stories, and we're always like having a little bit of gossip here and there whenever we see each other. And we always, now the future's uncertain. We don't know if we're ever going to work together again. I imagine we will. I really hope we do, but who knows? I might never have a casting gig again for the rest of my life. Maybe until after August. I think I'm booked up to at the minute. I think that's the last one I'm currently booked to do. I don't know where we start on one subject and then we go so off topic to another.
We just wind you up and let you go. And
the thing is, what we like to do is, and I think is really important for us. It's the reason I know sort of pre-pod. I sent you a message this morning and just about talking points and things like that. We like it to be nice and free flowing because personally, I feel like we both want the pod to feel like it's people getting together, friends getting together,
Mates
talking
chatting.
about talking about the subject that we're passionate about, and that's what it's going to be about. That's what it is about for us. There's no point structured to the 18th degree of, oh no, we've hit 59 minutes, we've got to cut it short now. Like, that's not what it's about for us. Like, you get more out of people when it's natural.
I used to do like interviews with people. I used to like interview streamers and put loads of work into it, like like an hour long or whatever, and it would all be edited up and it would look good and it'd be funny. And I literally was laughing the whole time I edit it because I think I'm the funniest person on the planet. And you put it out and as I say, it gets like no views, and it was a lot of effort for almost no reward at that point. So I stopped doing them. But I learned in just that short space, I think I did like 8 maybe, that I had a list of questions that I would always ask, or thereabouts, and one person asked for those questions in advance, and I sent it to them, and it was probably the worst one because they already had what they wanted to say in their mind, and then they stumbled, and they didn't quite have what they wanted to say, and then they and it was so, you could just tell, and it was really awkward, and it was really bad content, opposed to just saying it to someone and then going with the flow. You'd have their natural reaction to what it was, and you could feed off that. It's definitely the way to go forward. You can always have like points to steer the conversation. Yep. But never like try and actually like make it rigid. As you said this morning, you're like, what do you want to talk about? When I went, anything. Let's just go. Let's just free flow it. The problem you're going to have is shutting me up. That's your problem.
But that's like Sir said, that's what we're after at the end of the day. We're social. We like to talk. I talk far too much. As Dom's well aware of. But it's that's how we like it to be. We like it to be nice, and look, we know, we've had feedback from people now that, like myself, I listen to a lot of podcasts while I'm driving around for work, and I know people that have listened and given me feedback. That's exactly what they do as well, and they enjoy it because it is like you're listening into a conversation, and you can
fly on the wall,
and that's exactly what we were looking to do. We didn't want it to be too structured. I asked what if there's anything you particularly want to talk about because it's an interesting points, but actually it's quite easy. We invite people to come on because they're easy natured. We have points that we want to speak to. We want to talk to you about your commentary and yourself and your life, whatnot. And we know that you can sit there and talk about it yourself, nice and easy. But it's easy listening as well, and that's what we're after.
Who's on? I've got 2 questions. Let's start with the easier one. Who is? You say you edit. Do you make shorts of this? Do you clip little like 60-second segments of this and post them? It's
definitely something we need to do more of. Basically,
I'm gonna say that's definitely something that I would do if I was you guys. Second one is, who's on your hit list? Who do you want on the pod that you haven't had?
We've got quite a few people. We won't say out because some of them. The problem is right.
If you don't say it, how's it going to manifest? I know a lot of people. There's a chance I know these people, and I can just give them a DM and be like, "Hey, these lads want you for a podcast." Content creators would love making content that they don't have to edit. I just have to turn up for an hour and waffle about myself and then go, and you're going to do all the hard work to get it on the internet. And all I then got to do is retweet it. So I'm going to eat that up.
So, right, I'm going to go on a bit of a sorry, Dom, it's a classic Alex Riley side tangent.
Carry on.
It's a nice little classic one here, but the amount of people I have messaged about just doing sit-down interviews. So it's something that I'm doing at events at the minute. Sit down, chat with people, talk to them about what they're doing and the events and things like that. And the amount of people I've messaged or contacted, and you don't even get a reply. And it's like, fair enough, like, you know the deal, it's all fine and dandy. But at the Actions event in Birmingham, I reached out to John Avon, and he could not be nicer and more inviting. And we had a sit-down chat. We had a decent chat beforehand. We've had plenty of chats afterwards. We've done our sit-down, and it was so nice and it was so easy. I wish there was a bit more of that in the community, but I also understand, like, you message, anyone, like, you message Mangu, for argument's sake. I'm sure he's got 10 a penny. Like, people are always contacting him. I would like to do something. Or, they're busy guys. Like, I appreciate this. I really, really do. But it's just interesting.
On your hit list?
I'd love to. I'd love to have a chat with him.
Give me a second. Give me a second while we're talking.
Behave. No, that's just...
Well, I'm literally talking to him right now. He messaged me 2 hours ago because I was talking to him about something. Just keep telling people on your hit list while you keep talking. Go for it.
Oh my god, there's loads. I mean, for me personally, I have been a massive fan of Covert Go Blue pretty much since I've watched his stuff for a long, long time. He'd be another great person. I'd actually quite like to get John Avon on here. I think he was a really interesting man to speak to. I think he's got a lot of good stories to tell. He's a man that's been around in magic art for a long time. There will be a time I'll have a conversation with him. I think that'd be fantastic. What about you, Dom? I know we've spoke off camera about other people we've potentially touching base with, but who would be on your hit list?
Oh my goodness. I mean, I don't have anyone in particular.
Lies.
As such.
You definitely have someone. You're thinking of someone right now. Who is it?
No, I know some people that I'd like to get on that I already know, who will come on, but
that's good.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of like magic celebrity, I don't know.
I mean, Will, if you really want to pull it,
I've been booking the guests. I haven't put too much thought into it.
if you really want to go above and beyond and really pull it out for us, and you'd get like 100% 5-star guest of eternity.
Who do you want?
I would love a sit down chat or a sit down with LSV on the pod. That'd be amazing. I think
that's one person I don't have, to be fair.
I think, well, boo. I
don't have him in the DMs.
I love his draft content and things like that. I think his cube stuff as well. It's just phenomenal. It's so educational as well.
Goat with it all. By far, he's up there.
100%. It's really difficult because the problem is like Will is that. You know what it's like. I get far better responses by physically speaking to people. I know the first time I spoke to you, you were so generous with your time, and it weren't just a matter of, oh, hi, how you doing? Oh, by the way, I've got to go off. You sat there with me for like 20, 30 minutes, and I knew you were busy, and I think it was me saying to you like, shouldn't you be heading off? And you're like, nah, it's all good. Like, and I enjoyed every single minute of it. And I think again, just to the Magic Gathering community, it's speaking to these people and the community that makes it. Like, we all play, or everyone in there, we all play different formats, but we can all sit there and listen to anyone about their chosen subject.
Got a story.
Exactly.
Story.
And that's the fascinating thing about it. I mean, I know you always come across, actually I've got a little question for you, Will. Sorry, I'm rambling over again. Who have you met within the Magic community that have you ever met someone that's made you a bit starstruck? Or the closest to it, if not?
All the time. I'm such a fanboy. It's like an ongoing joke. I'm such a fanboy with, like, the most recent one would have been Brad Nelson.
Wow. Yeah.
Like, Brad, I'm a fanboy of. Reed, I'm still a fanboy of. Todd, Tom Ross. I've never met CVM face to face, but like Goldfish, Seth. I basically, obviously, I say I'm the person that finds the players for these events. I just go to everybody that I'm a fan of, and I just ask them. And luckily, that we do our brand. We've done so much work in it that people are willing to take the time to be in it. And I'm always fanboying. Like, I say that to them, like, I'm sorry that I'm fanboying. I grew up watching you. Like, my Magic journey started watching SCGs.
Yeah.
And you were the mainstays on it. Like, this weekend, I was hanging out with Ali Aldrazi, who again I watched on. I've got his token from the SCG when he had the Angel, and I've spoke to him a few times just with different bits of content. Like, but I met him for the first time this weekend, and me and him are so alike. We got on like an absolute house on fire. We now exchange numbers. We're DMing we're literally WhatsApping each other now. Like, this event and that event, because he now lives in the UK. And he's moved to the UK. I'm trying to get him to go to Axia next.
Nice.
I could probably get him on the pod if you want him. Listen, I'm like, I met him one time. I'm like, I could get him on the pod for you.
I mean, your pull is incredible, Will. Or potential pull is definitely incredible.
Well, I've sent Mengu a message for you, so see what he plays. He might be in bed by now, but you know what I mean. I know people, like, someone will say to me once, "Oh, I wish I could do a pod." I'll be like, I know exactly where to send them. You know what I mean? I've got a bunch of people that do pods. I know what audience want people to go to. Like, I've got Humans and Magic, like again, interviews literally the biggest names in Magic. He's got interviews with, but he's looking to go into sports.
Okay.
And like films and like people have got different stories that aren't Magic. He's trying to branch out from that. And I'm like, well, I know some film producers. I know literally like soldiers, like, you know, special forces ex-soldiers. People have got really good stories and backstories, and just would love to sit down for an interview. So that's the sort of people I'd push to him. And then you got like the Chad Magic lads have just started their podcast, and they're looking for like competitive players. They've just got Sean Goodard on there, so like pushing the competitive players that way. You're after people that have got really good, like, you know, Magic the Gathering stories. I can push them towards you. Like, there's always, as long as I know what people are after, I speak to so many people and meet so many people. I know where I can kind of push people along. Like, there's even I got given a task on the last Mitgo Masters of I needed to find a content creator that played Modern of all formats on Magic Online, but wasn't a Magic content creator.
Okay.
And I was just like, okay, you're asking. I'll see what I can do. And I was able to find Luna Love, who's like a 3-time Hearthstone world competitor, like huge like streamer, huge in Hearthstone. It's now really going deep into Lorcana as well, but really deep in Magic as well. But doesn't stream it as much. Managed to get her on, and she was awesome because she came in from a different direction. So all her brews were really, really cool to see. It wasn't just an off the beat meta deck. It was something that she thought about, tested, trialed, and every card had a reason for it. And just being able to hear her do it. So I'm going to get you some guests. I'm going to find some guests. I'm going to be like, right, do you want to do a podcast? These lads want to hear your story, because I also get to hear people's stories as well, which is you know, again, something.
Yeah.
Like Benton's got a really cool story. Benton Manson, I mentioned, that's 2 shouts out he's having now. 2 shouts to Benton. He's obviously came second in the Pro Tour, lost to Reduke in the final. I at that Pro Tour, I was one of the card readers, so I'm the one stood there with the iPad, and whenever they draw a card, I press a button so on screen for everybody watching, they can see that's the card drawn. And bear in mind, it is the most high tense profile Magic probably of his career, right? And he's just sat there, him versus Reed Dude with his scorekeeper, me, and I think it was Anu. I think Anu was the other card reader. And he's just cracking jokes that no one's laughing at. And I think they're hilarious, right? So like he like just says something in this little quirky, awkward way that he does it. And I just go, like, you know, obviously I've got to be professional. I can't just start bawling out laughing. But like he can tell that I laughed. He's just like, oh dear, thank you. And I was like, you know, that just stuck for the whole weekend. He was like round 3 feature match, round 7 feature match, or whatever. I've seen him a couple of times going through it, and then we kept talking and kept hanging out. I was like, I didn't know I'm good at this, but I'm very good at finding a story. And so for that Pro Tour, weirdly, Benton was the person I attached to, and he came second in the tournament. At Barcelona, I'm the reporter. My job is to go out and find all the different stories from the room. On the Thursday at the players' meeting, before the tournament even starts, I'm interviewing I forgot his name now. Jake Beardsley.
Oh yeah.
I'm interviewing Jake Beardsley because it's his birthday weekend and his first Pro Tour, and I stick with that story throughout day 1. He makes day 2. Awesome story, you know, first Pro Tour on his birthday weekend, makes day 2. He's now just made top 8.
Yeah.
He's now in the semis. He's now in the finals.
Yep.
He's now just won his first Pro Tour, his first opportunity.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I was able to pick that story up and sit with it and keep giving that information every time I'm in the desk. So like every third round, I'm at the desk with Maria and fucking I forgot his name. So many casters. I'm sat there at the desk, and you know they go, so what's the news out on the floor, Will? And I'll be like, oh, okay, we've got this player and this player and this player, and you know you get to tell like a little bit of story, what's out on the ground or what people are drafting, etc. How people are playing. And I'm living it because it's like Lord of the Rings. I'm like, yeah, someone's got Mount Doom and the One Ring in their deck. Someone's got Frodo. They've got Boromir. They've got Gandalf. All in the 4-color mess, but they've got all the heroes. You know what I mean? They've tried to make the Fellowship, and I was loving it. I'm like running around like with a microphone, thinking I'm all fancy in that heat. By the way.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I'm in a full like 3-piece suit running around. Even the casters are in shorts because you don't see the legs, and I'm there fully head to toe. running around. That aircon in that hall was something else. That was.
I didn't realize until I went up to the little content creators thing, which is adjacent to the Pro Tour. It's like, this is a sauna.
Yeah,
it's just a greenhouse.
Yeah.
And there was some weird law that the aircon couldn't go down so low in the venue, and we were just like, what is going on? Luckily, we had like a little green room that had like one aircon unit in it, but we just maxed it down. So it was as long as the door stayed shut, it was quite cold in there. And we were told to always be in there when you're not on the floor. But then my job was to be on the floor basically the whole time, getting stories, doing interviews, and I love that. I didn't know that I liked being in an interview until that moment. And I don't know if I'm even allowed to say it, but some people don't like being interviewers at the Pro Tour, pay that way. Like, some of the casters don't like being an interviewer. They'd much rather be at the desk or in the booth. They don't like the interviewing bit as much. And I was like, oh, well, I really love this. So that's kind of, you'll see me trying to do a lot more interviews and things that I do now, just to gain experience and kind of work on my weaknesses with that, which is mainly saying players' names, because I am horrendous at saying players' names.
I feel like running around, with a microphone. Actually, sometimes the best stories are going to come from that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to get stuff that they haven't talked about on the desk, and
you need the right person, though, right? Like, some people, I say, will get anxiety and don't like talking. If you don't like initiating conversations with people, I'll go up to anybody. And so, like Kai Buddha, literally the best, if not top 2 players to ever play this game. Happily just walk up to him and just be like, hey, Kai, how's it going? How's your round go? How's the event going? How's your testing process up to this point? You know what I mean? Just have a full-blown conversation back and forth with him. Something I thought I'd never do. But, I respect him so much. Willie Idol, is it? Yeah, Willie Idol, I think it is. Really famous control player. I want to say it's not Willie Idol. It might be Willie. I'm saying go with Willie Idol. But, Brazilian all-star of Magic the Gathering. I went and I spoke to him and went, all right, Will. I went, what? You know my name? He's like, yeah, I'm always watching your stream. I was like, okay. And I was like, okay, how's it going? And, I'd go back and forth up to him for different rounds. I was like, geez, that's, I was not, I'm not expecting that sort of thing. Normally when I'm casting with people like Matei, Big Z, awesome, again, teaches me so lot. And me and him are really, really like good friends. And he will tell me if I'm doing something wrong. Like he will give me shit for messing something up, or he'll be like, well, you're doing this too much. You need to lay off that, or you need to work on this. You know what I mean? Like, he will give it to me straight. He knows that I have an ego, and he will knock me down a peg and is not scared of it. And that's what you need. You need people like that around you, so you don't get too big-headed and think that, you're almighty. Like, I deserve this, I deserve that. He's like, no one cares. You're just a blip on the internet, mate. What are you talking about? And I'm like, fuck, he's right, but I don't want to accept that he's right, but he is right. And I love having someone like that. But anyway, I'm getting back to is he obviously has been around the game a long time at high level. I think he came second in a Pro Tour once. He's done it all, and he'll get DMs from some of the big names, like saying different things to do when we're on coverage, and it's really interesting because I didn't think I would know some of them, or they would at least know who I am, and then you get to meet them. And like, all right, Will, and they're like, well, so yeah, like, a full fanboy moments basically. You're like, amazing. Oh, geez, okay, cool, yeah. I'm gonna go scream in the corner now to nothing for a little bit. It's cool. The only time I've ever been literally starstruck, though, we're going back to the conversation like 10 minutes ago. I'm sorry, I do this a lot. Is when I met Hayden Christensen.
Okay.
Dude, and I was only there for 10 seconds while you have your photo taken, and I had I'm in the line, and third from meeting him, and you go turn the corner, and then he's there, and you're like, oh shit, it's fucking Darth Vader, and I'm like, fuck. I go up and I give him a handshake, and I was like, mate, you don't know what, how much I admire you, sort of things. Like, oh, no, thank you very much, and you have your photo, and you wash it out there. It's a complete sausage fest. But then when you walk out of the room that he's in, mate, I just adrenaline dump. Just had to sit there on the floor a minute. I was like, fuck. I felt like I wanted to cry. I was like, what is going on? I was like, I don't know what was happening to me. I was like, is this what starstruck is? Mate, and still to this day, I've got a photo of him. It's like one of my pro possessions. I am a huge Star Wars fan. Why have we not got that secret lair yet? I don't know, but I want it.
Oh,
I cannot wait. Like, it's only a matter of time, right?
it was one of
We're getting Marvel, right? So it's the next step.
I want all the swords. I want all 5 swords, but done as lightsabers.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
we,
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's an easy win, right?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
an easy win. It's gonna happen eventually one time. I was speaking. What's your opinion on this? So, I was speaking with Martin this weekend about it. Magic to me, at least until like 4 or 5 years ago, or whatever, whenever Secret Lair started getting pumped out, Magic to me was this fantasy game, a lot like Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, like we got wizards and zombies and goblins and dragons and heroes and bad guys and villains and whatever. And I'm okay with that. Lore-wise, I'm okay with that. It all makes sense in my head that that's a thing. And then the Secret Lair, My Little Pony came out. And I'm cool with that. It's a little charity thing, a little one-off for kids. Love it. Okay, cool. But now I've got like Robot Godzilla going up against an angel that's going up against, I don't know. What's another obscure Secret Lair that we've got? Like
Jurassic Park. Yeah.
like Jurassic Park. You know what I mean? Like it takes that lore out of it for me. But now, obviously, because there's been so many, it's been for a couple of years now. I just accept that that's a thing in Magic.
Or you've also
But,
got like the Fallouts, which my Fallout Secret Lair just turned up today, actually.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice.
Nice winter all.
Swarm.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway,
Sorry.
did they miss a trick with that Fallout set? If they waited 2 months and put it out after that TV series, I would have bought them all. I've never played Fallout, right? Like I had an ex-girlfriend, she played Fallout, and I never my thing. I kind of knew what it was, but watched the TV series, loved it. I was like, if they released a Secret Lair about this now, I would be buying it up. And
I assumed, because they announced there was going to be 3, and obviously we only saw 1 at the event they previewed. It might have been Chicago, I can't remember. But yeah, they previewed 1. They said, oh, there's 2 more. And obviously I knew the Amazon series was coming out, right? I assumed that you were going to get the characters from the show in one of those Secret Lairs, but obviously it just turned out not to be.
I'm a sucker. I've got way too much money for my own good. At least I think I do, and I'll spend it on dumb things. And I buy way too many Secret Lairs that I'm even willing to say that I buy too many of them. Like I hate that I buy them, but I will buy a Secret Lair, 4 copies of it if it's got 1 card in that I want a play set of. I'm so stupid with it, and like at the minute I'm trying to get all the pixel lands as my basic lands. So now I want 20 of each pixel Secret Lair.
Yeah, they're beautiful. They are beautiful. I've got
really
7.
like
They're beautiful.
I won one at Mega Modern in, where were we? Stoke-on-T.
Yeah.
With my ticks, I was able to get one, so I got one. And again, the guy giving them out was like an EDH player, and he was like, "Oh, I've never seen the cards from that." I went, "Oh yeah, they got the basic lands and command tower. It's like a really nice command tower comes in this." And he was like, "Oh, I've not seen that." And then someone, one of the other judges there was like, "Yeah, it's like a 20 quid card now, that command tower. You know, people really, really want it or whatever." I just opened the Secret Lair in front of him and just gave him the command tower. And here, mate, you play EDH. Like, what am I going to do with that card? I'm horrendous for selling cards. I only ever buy what I need or want. And it's got to the point where I own like 16 Teferis. I own 12 Yargmoths, because every time something comes out, I just get the upgraded version that I like the new of, which is really annoying because now all the Modern Horizons 3, they're about to print all the elementals again, and I'm like, I've already got the
showcase arts.
I've already got the full art ones. I'm like, but do I like these full art ones better?
Yeah.
Am I now going to get these all again? To do that same with my shock clans. I just upgraded them to the old bordered Ravnica ones. So now I've got multiples of shock clans which I had before. And I've just given a big box. I went through my collection, kept all my 4-ofs, and then took the other 12 of every card that I had, gave them to my mate, and I'm like, look, value these for me. Tell me how much they're worth. I'll give you 20% of what it is. You know, if you can sell them for me, great. Because obviously I've now realized that weddings cost a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
So I need to. That's.
I eloped to Korea for mine. It was wasn't too expensive.
Maybe I should do that because the money's racking up. We haven't even had it. I just thought it was easy being a guy. I thought I just got to buy a ring, get on a knee, and that's it. It's done. Easy.
No.
Now you got to get married in the next 12 months, and you got to go all your spare weekends. You got to go to wedding venues. And as much as I love my fiance, and I'm going to spend the rest of my life with her, I didn't realize all this was coming on with. But I enjoy it. She loves it. Now I think we finally got a wedding venue, so a little bit less stress for her. moving forward. But yeah, I wish someone could have told me all this before. Maybe I would have waited a bit. Look, saying that, I've been over 10 years, so it's a bit overdue, but here we are.
That's the thing.
You know what I mean?
Did you think any more?
Time is obviously right.
I know. When we were chatting at Birmingham, you were talking about we talked about honeymoons. Have you thought any more about it? I know this is a random topic, buddy, but
I don't even know if I can afford a honeymoon. I would love to
Disneyland.
Disneyland.
Orlando is 100% going to be involved in it in some aspect. I would love to go from the UK to Orlando, Orlando to LA, to go to the Universal Studios there, and then go from there to Japan, because I would love to go to a Pokemon Center.
Oh yeah,
and then go from Japan. The flight from Japan back to the UK would be really long, so I'd want to stop somewhere in the middle. So maybe like Thailand or somewhere like that, just to stop. Like ideally, like 3 weeks of just traveling, but only ever going one way.
Yep.
So I mean, like go around the globe and then end up back in. That's what I'd like to do. I've got. Are any of you guys going to Vegas?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, so like Vegas. I'm planning Vegas at the minute. I want to fly out to Vegas. I want to do the weekend in Vegas. I want to drive to Ohio, which is 29 hours away, over the next 4 days, because on the Friday the invitational for the Apex Gaming starts, and I want to do play in the qualifiers for that and potentially play on the Sunday.
Cool.
Which is
Nice.
It's awesome. I think that's going to be a cool trip to do as well. I'm trying to find people to do it with me at the minute. I think the other Marine, and this is what I call him,
full on road trip.
Just like a full road trip. I think you drive through 6 different states in 29 hours. So obviously over 4 days you could just do like 7 hours driving a day or something, but while stopping off and kind of seeing that state, seeing that what there is, and not just seeing the touristy bits.
Yeah.
Get to see the locals, have some drinks in bars, and I'm planning to go with Josh, who does the Chad Magic
Battles.
podcast.
Yeah, Battle Chats, isn't it? Yeah.
I call him the other Marine, and I think everyone else should call him the other Marine as well.
I mean, I can't. We probably couldn't. You could probably get away with it because you got clout.
No. When you see him for bands, just be like, yes, this is Josh, the other Marine. Yeah. And then people are like, who's the first Marine? And you're like, it's Will. I always give Josh, I'm like, he's the second best Royal Marine that plays Magic.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if I quite want to fly in that, but that trip sounds amazing. I like I sort of said to you in Birmingham, like Japan, like I loved Japan, and I'd like to go back. So I could definitely give you some pointers on that sort of stuff. But that's a really interesting trip. Actually, doing it like that would be good. Yeah,
I like Snorlax. What's your favorite Pokemon? Snorlax.
My favorite Pokemon.
Yeah.
Ooh, I've got two. It's I know it's really greedy, but it's either Gengar or Gyarados. My two favorite. One of those two.
Okay.
Yeah,
Shiny Gyarados is sick.
I've still got I know we were talking about Pokemon earlier. I've still got my original cards from when I was a kid, and I've still got them downstairs.
Keep talking. Wait.
Oh, he's gonna show us. He's going to show us. I'm not going to go downstairs and go get mine, but I've still got a lot of my foils, and because I was quite keen on the Japanese foils as well, which is back in the day like nobody wanted them, so I was just like, yeah, great, no problem. So I've got like a Sabrina's Gengar, I've got loads of Misty's Gyarados and that sort of stuff. I've got some really nice stuff that.
You just saw me pull these out of a drawer and they're not even in a folder, right?
That is horrific, Will.
This is me when I was a kid.
Look at that!
First edition Charizard.
Oh, look at that!
Oh my goodness!
Look at that!
Yeah. They just sit in a drawer and just gain value.
Mine's still in a box. Like it's still in a booster box that I opened back in the noughties. Yeah, is that Blaine's? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just
first edition red cheek Pikachu.
Yeah. That's cool.
Pikachu was so ugly, wasn't it? Poor little thing. Before they updated the design.
Before they made it cute.
He's always been a kitty.
I'm currently moving my room around at the minute, but I own a disgusting amount of sealed Pokemon product. I mean, I don't know if she's listening, but probably about grand's worth of Pokemon product. Like I just can't stop buying. Like, I buy dumb things. I told you I buy dumb things all the time. Hold on. Like I have 2 boxes of Japanese Pharos just sat here because tons of Karkia. Sorry, someone was selling them, so I was like, yeah, just buy those 2 boxes.
I mean, Will, I'm just going to put it out there. Anytime you fancy an impulse purchase, but you don't want to feel guilty about it, you're welcome to purchase it, and you can send it to me and Dom, and we'll open on your behalf. It's fine. We will take that burden off of you, mate.
I've got 2 unlimited boosters in next door as well, like that were pulled from a sealed box and streamed online.
Wow.
So like an unmapped box. I've got 2 of them sat there. As well.
The only thing I can flex on, I've still got these boxes of original alliances that I've been opening from time to time, and I love opening them. I love opening them.
I still need to sort out a trade in my trade at the minute, which is I should plug that. That's what I should plug.
You really should. I haven't seen you plug that for a while. I really haven't.
I've had a few more trades since. So what I've been doing, just because people have any idea what the heck I'm talking about, I started about a year and a half ago with a dumb idea of trying to trade a basic island, just a Kansatake island, up until I get to a Black Lotus, so I can then give a Black Lotus away. And I'm currently at, I guess, around £1,000, like £1,000 worth of cards. I got like an original foil Windswept Heath and foil Cavernous Souls, foil Mana Drain, Judge Promo Mana Drain.
That's the one I was after. Funny enough.
A few other like a little bit. I still got it. A few other
we need to chat about it.
like going around. But yeah, I used to make TikToks about it, but then I got lazy. I'm just lazy at the minute. That's what it is. When it's doing something physically, I could do it, but I haven't got my head back into the editing game since I started doing casting. Like it's kind of like a offbeat. Like I actually want to start doing stuff now where like doing deck text, but like just me with someone stood next to me, giving an interview about their deck, and just doing like on the fly deck text, like, and just then I can edit it up from YouTube. I can just make it. I can post it straight away raw on Twitter, but then I can make like actually just cards on screen. Not too much crazy editing needs to be done, but I can put that on YouTube. I want to do a series on YouTube of deck text for dummies.
Okay. So
kind of like the sideboarding thing that we're talking about, how people put hours into sideboarding so you can just buy it for $5. What if I just made a 5 to 10 minute YouTube video of what the deck is, what it does, how it works, how the combo in it works, so to speak, what the card, this is how you sideboard in what matchups. These are what people bring in against you. These are the decks you want to play against. These are the decks you don't want to play against. Just like a really quick 5 minutes. Remember those books that we would have had in school, like Math for Dummies?
Yeah.
I literally want it to look like that, the black and yellow with dummies so then, and just like deck tech for dummies, and just have like each different deck that way. I did make a thumbnail for it once. Someone told me to always make the thumbnail first before you make the video.
That's a good shout, actually.
Interesting,
yeah. And I thought that was really interesting because that's the first thing somebody sees. So you should build your content off that if you can.
That's interesting, yeah.
It does make. I don't know if I agree with it, but it makes sense.
The problem is like the thumbnail can be make or break, and it as sad as it is, because the content itself could be absolutely incredible. But you could have the best thumbnail and it can be atrocious. But that's just YouTube, isn't it? Unfortunately,
I think that's quite a good idea because obviously you're going through like the creative process of creating the thumbnail might give you more ideas as well about what you want to put in the video, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
exactly. It's a good shout.
It is an interesting. I think Mr. Beast does it that way as well. Where if you're going to study anyone's YouTube videos, that's the person to study.
It's just his own face with an explosion behind it.
And again, if you ever get in if anything, fair one, just put an explosion in his face. If you ever think anything if anything bad's ever happening to you on the internet, right? Like say you cancelled, right? Say you're getting cancelled, anything like that. Mr. Beast got cancelled for curing blindness. For giving people without shoes in a third world country shoes, for giving them running water. He gets cancelled for all these things, and what is going on? Like, he just did this off his own back. He understand. So they were like, oh, well, you spent 4 million blowing up cars and trains. That money could have gone to good people. He's like, yeah, they could have, but you don't watch the video when I cure 200 people of blindness. You watch the video of me blowing up yachts and stuff. So I have to make those videos that generate the money for me to be able to do the good things. Yeah. It's like a vicious circle. He's doing things he doesn't actually want to do to get the money to do the things he does want to do. And but yet you give him shit for that. And it's just people, again, not reading into the process and how.
Isn't that a really horrible mirror to society, Lo?
Oh yeah, it's terrible. Absolutely terrible. I hate it. I hate things like the fact that if I say name a Kardashian to me, you'll be able to name one of the Kardashians, right? But if I say, okay, name a Olympic winner, you'd struggle to think of an Olympic. Like name like an English 100-meter runner. You can't do it. That's someone that's dedicated their whole life to one thing for their country, and you can't name it, but you can name Kim Kardashian because she's. That shit grips me. I hate it. Like I don't. She actually does quite a good lot of work behind the scenes that people don't see. Like she gets people out of death row that don't belong there and stuff. They're falsely accused, and I think that's amazing. Using your platform for good like that, but the generic person can name someone like that, but they can't name someone that's dedicated their whole life to it. Can you name any of the Victoria Cross winners? People have got the highest honor you can possibly win in the British military.
I know the guy that I don't know his name, but I know what he done for it, which was I believe was an American plane strafed the British convoy, and he went in and pulled a couple of guys out of burning tank or something like that. I think he get the VC.
There's a lad who's in the army. He's retired now. Who's got a VC for pulling for. No, this is a different story. The one you're talking about. What he won it for because his tank convoy got ambushed. He was the front. He drove into an IED, and like obviously was the front tank. And this is how an ambush works: is if you can disable the front vehicle.
Yep.
And the rear vehicle, they're boxed in. So he knew that obviously he drove into an ID and didn't think he'd know about it, but then he could see more IEDs in front of him. But what he did is he drove into those IEDs to clear the way for everybody behind him because he knew that everybody behind him can't get out unless he drives into him. So he willingly, after being blown up, after taking an RPG to the face, basically, drove into all these mines and he won a Victoria Cross for that. He's still alive. Normally, if you win a Victoria Cross, you're not around to be presented.
Do you know what? Maybe that might be the story I'm thinking of. I because actually that might be a bit closer to what I was thinking of. But
he won that. That was in Iraq that he won that. Yeah, it's that's right. There's only ever been 10 Royal Marines to win Victoria Crosses, because Winston Churchill kind of seen us off a little bit. But if you don't know what sees us off, it's basically like throw us under the bus a bit. Because he said the everyday actions of a Royal Marine deserve a Victoria Cross. Never said he sensed that. We've never won a Victoria Cross. We've only ever won I say only military crosses and stuff like that, but which is the second highest honor. But no Royal Marine since has won a Victoria Cross. There's only 10 Victoria Cross winners.
That's interesting.
I like my military history. It's again something that I'm passionate about, and being dyslexic, if I'm into something, I will read everything about it, head to toe. Like Dungeons and Dragons, I'll read head to toe in everything Dungeons and Dragons. I love Dungeons and Dragons. I've been playing it for 20. God, I'm old. When did I start? 12. For 26 years, I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons. You know what I mean?
Have you got a campaign going on at the moment then?
No, I'm too busy. It's my. If I ever can free up any time, I do occasional one shots, but I'm too busy at the minute with life and work to commit to a real campaign. I love DMing and I love playing. I love second edition. That's my passion is second edition. I think it's D&D on hard mode. It's the edition that I grew up with, and I always say that to my savvy friends. If I ever get free time, I want to do D&D again. I started playing 40k recently.
Oh yeah.
And by playing 40k, I mean learning all the lore of 30 and 40k, buying all the models, building the armies, but never actually playing with them. So my friend who's less fortunate than me can't afford the models, but loves playing. So it's turned into this racket of where I buy the model, I build the model. I love building them because I'm like an engineer. I love building these models, and then I'll kit bash them or do whatever I want, and then I give them to him, and then he plays with them. But neither of us actually paint them. So I'm looking for a third member to paint them. I build them. Someone can paint them. He can play with them. Is where we're at. But since I don't actually play, I own 4 armies. I own Ultramarines, Blood Angels, Dark Angels, and Tyranids.
All the Marines plus bugs.
I'm a Royal Marine. I have to have all the Marines. Do you know what I mean? And I'm really into my 40k. Because all the traveling I do, I listen to a lot of 40k audiobooks. That's my thing.
All the Horus Heresy stuff.
Yeah, I've been.
Yeah, I love it all. I love all of them. I'm really, but the thing is, it's expensive for me because we'll like have an audiobook, and then I'll be like, so I started with Emperor of Mankind, and obviously that's all about Custodians. Oh, I got 5 armies. Custodians is my first army. No, Custodians, because my friends were like, let's play. And I was like, no, I'll end up buying loads of armies. I'll get addicted to it. And they're like, no, you won't, because I did it as a kid. And I was like, okay, what do I need to buy to have the least amount of models, but the most amount of points to play? They're like, oh, go Custodians. They're like, basically gods. So I was like, all right, cool, I'll go Custodians. And then do the lore on them. They're awesome. I was like, damn. So read that audiobook. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to read the audiobook, Desecration of Baal, which is all about blood angels and their homeworld getting invaded by Tyranids. So then I fell in love with Tyranids and Dante, who's like the leader of them. And I was like, oh my God, right. So now I'm like, I bought a Blood Angels army and a Tyranid army. And then I've just finished reading Lionel Johnson. So now I'm like, now I'm into Dark Angels. And
they released the model for him as well.
Yeah. I love all the Primarchs. Like that.
Oh yeah.
I'm in the process of collecting all the Primarchs because I just love that whole lore and story behind them all, and I think it's so freaking cool. And any story that they're involved in. So I also just finished the Plague Wars with Gillingham. Realistically, if I had to pick one chapter, it's Ultramarines. I like my Smurfs. Back. That's just back from the day when I was a kid and playing. I used to play Ultramarines, and
they were the poster.
I'm a Manius Calgar fanboy. Like the guy with the 2 big power fists. I thought it was really cool. I actually have some original art of him next door. It used to be on the wall in here until I took it down.
So when can we expect you to be building a Manus Calgar commander deck? Because they did do the 40k commander decks, didn't they?
So I think in that tub there is a sealed box of all 4 foil decks. I've got them.
Yeah.
They're there, foiled, just still in the box. Just sat there doing nothing because I'm stupid. But yeah, I did. My friend bought them all and played, and he's like, "Which one do you want?" Calgar, give me Calgar.
Yeah,
because you can also use the Inquisitor instead, can't you? Like,
yes, yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm Calgar. What are you talking about?
This is a bone of contention between me and Dom, by the way. You've walked into a minefield unexpectedly here, Will.
With what? Buying things in the opening?
No. So we've had lots of discussions about this. So like yourself, I have all the 40k commander decks. I have them all in foil as well. Like the same as you, probably the same as all of that. I grew up messing around. I weren't playing. Me and my brother were messing around with 40k, and I loved it. Stepped away from it because stuff happens, all that sort of stuff. I then during lockdown started to paint again and loved it. Fell in love with it. But anyway, so once they announced these ones, I was like, I want to get all of them, and I want to get them in foil because I love foils. Anyway, the Imperium of Man one. I still think that Maris Calgar is the best face commander. Whereas if I put it over to Dom, because he's got something else to say about this.
In a bubble, Calgar is a much more powerful card. As the face of the precon, I feel like the Inquisitor gives all your creatures vigilance and +1/+0. And you can tap her to create clues and tap down your opponent's best blocker. Or if they move to combat, you can tap down their best attacker. It's like that is way more powerful than, yeah.
I don't even know what he does. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, again, I don't play Commander. I just know that he's like a cool picture, so I want to play him.
He makes Space Marines, and he's got double strike.
He's a 3/5 double strike, so he's pretty.
He's a monster.
Punchy.
Yeah, he's
going to be double strike. He's got 2 fists.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Isn't who's the Chaos Lord? Isn't he the best one, or is it the Necrons that's the best one?
It depends. The Necrons one is a proper artifacts combo deck, and it is I can't play it. I don't play enough of those cards to get my head around it, but it's supposed to be absolutely wicked.
It's basically self-mill combo.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll open them one day. I don't know. Again, just buy loads. But I've got 2 of the Raining Cats and Dogs as well.
Oh yeah.
Again, just sat there in a box. I've got 2 of the Advent calendar thing they did last year.
Oh yeah.
Them sat in a box.
Some good cards.
Opals in there. No.
I just don't open things. I told you, I'll probably end up giving them away at some point. It's kind of what I do. We've spoke about it. What else I've got.
If you do open those calendar ones and you get any of the nice foil Arcline Phoenixes, I will definitely take them off your hands. I've built Is It Phoenix as my Pioneer deck, and I want to bling it all out.
Ooh, do you?
Yeah, I do.
Wonder if I've got any. Why did you choose? Why did you choose Phoenix?
For a number of reasons. One, I like the style of play. I've watched a few people pilot it, and I like the style and I like the way it plays. There's always been something about Arclight Phoenix. I don't know what it is, but I've always sort of had a bit of an eye on it. But like the main thing is the way it plays, because traditionally I'm blue white all the way through, but I've really liked it. The other side of it as well is that I have also built Murktide in Modern, and the two knit together really nicely. Because it's the same type of decks. I can have the same lands, because what I didn't really want to do is start like blowing big money, and I don't want to start having 8s of Steam Vents and 8s of Forza, all this sort of stuff. So I can interchange around a little bit, and it just so happened it settled really nicely, because I've had a bit of a shift in the last few years, but I want to build a deck, and I want to master those decks, and I want to always then upgrade them, and that's how I want to play like competitive Magic.
Especially in like Modern, like you kind of have to do that, right? Like you can't afford every deck in Modern. It's a lot. You kind of want one deck that's good in one meta, and then the deck when it's bad in the meta, you want the polar opposite deck that's good. So no matter in what meta, you're always going to have a playable deck, and then you kind of want 100 sideboard cards for that one deck, so you can adapt it to kind of any meta.
Yeah.
And as you say, learn it inside out. Nikachu is a classic example of that. Always plays Merfolk, always finds a way to win, and it's kind of because you study that deck through in throughout. I might have some foil treasure cruisers. Weirdly,
ooh, yeah.
I
know I've got one in there. I am a little. I would happily take them off your hands. I'm a little nervous at the minute because
I think it's going to get banned.
Yeah. Yeah. That's. I'm a little concerned about it, but it depends. I'm always open to it. The problem is Will, like, so. You know what my YouTube does and all that sort of stuff, and I do want to do some other stuff. But the key thing is that I love foils. I love opening packs, and I'm very lucky that I'm going to open these packs. I get to showcase it to people's. But what I want to do in terms of competitive nature is, I know people always shy away from foils, and I get it. I do understand it, and I'm quite prepared to take my medicine if that's what ends up happening. But I want to bling out my decks. Like, I've got half of them already.
I get you.
And I love it. That's my unique thing. I love the foils, and I love the fancy old arts. I love showcasing them. I mean, I put some of my prize cards, or my absolute gems, they're in my decks because I believe that nice things should be played and should be seen.
I've only just started in the last 4 months double sleeving my cards. Like, everyone's like, why don't you double sleeve the Weapon of Fortune? I'm not selling them. They're there for my I want to play with them. They're not there for me to make money from or resell. It's just, I want them. But then, as I said, we'll just keep printing new cards. Like, now I've got to upgrade all my Dragon Age Chandlers to the old boarded ones when they come out. I've already got the fancy Ragavans. Do I want to upgrade my fancy Ragavans to now old boarded Ragavans? It's a never-ending circle, really.
I mean, I'm after some Ragavans as well. So, I mean, Will, I think I could probably help you out, and you can help me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, some trades.
I got the 4 like artifact-looking ones. Yep,
I do.
When they went to Chandra as well, I got 4 of those. Because weirdly, my friend bought my 4 original ones, so I could buy these, and I could say these to you, and I can get 4 of the. Okay, I like it. There we go. I'm down.
I'm always down for nice cards. Like, I don't know what it is. I'm just a magpie for it. But I
need to show you my Infect decks. I got both green blue and green black Infect in foil.
Ooh,
like complete. Like, that's. And I always go for the expense, whatever the most expensive foil is. That's the one I've got in those decks, even though completely unplayable.
What's your go-to? Random question here. When you're building decks and you're putting basics in, you want them to look really, really nice. What's your go-to basic?
I ask this question a lot on stream as well. This all depends on how many basics I need to put in the deck.
Okay, go on. Explain why.
So if I'm playing 5 color money pile and I just need 1 of each, it will probably be the snow-colored pixel lands.
Oh yeah, cool.
If it's 20, like say I need 20 of each basic because I'm playing mono red or something. It's Urza Saga basics because that's the set I started with.
Oh, nice.
So like that's my 20 ofs. If I need up like 5 of each, I will go to my normal pixel lands now. If it's depending on the theme of the deck as well, I might mix up some of the basics to pick like, the black on black ones, or the Neon Destiny ones are really, really sick as well. It depends how many of that basic I need. I've got like a tier list. Okay, just one, it's this set. If it's 3, it's this. If it's 4, it's that. If it's 6, it's that. And I have a big box, and that's Wizards' best way to get my money is by pitting a shit set with great basics, and I'll buy it. Like,
I love lands. I love them.
Like, what's that? What was the stained glass lands? What set was that in?
Dominaria.
Dominaria. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dominaria.
Like, not a fan of the set, but I want the basics. Bear in mind,
nice.
when I grew up, when I first started Magic again in 2014, the only full arts you could get was like the original. It's not Ravnica, whatever the original.
Zendikar, right?
Yeah, Zendikar ones.
Yeah.
The original Zendikar ones from like John Avon. So they were like $4 or $5 each, and having them was like, oh my god! And the unglued ones were something next level. Was it unglued or what's the John Avon ones that are in unset? Those ones.
Oh yeah.
They were like stupid money. So I liked the ones before it that like got the fancier border.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, I do know what you mean.
I use those a lot as well. They're like one of my go-to basics.
Yeah.
Unglued,
Unhinged, unglued.
Unhinged are the ones you got. Unglued are the ones I got.
Yeah.
Yeah, unglued is the ones I like. Yeah, they're so sick.
Yeah. Amazing.
I love basics. I do like pimping a deck out. I know I was always about just getting the cheapest version. Don't care if things don't mix match. And then I got older and I was like, actually, I really do care. So now I've just accepted, just get the fancy one straight away, go crazy. And obviously I've just got into Legacy recently because I thought, I've got, why not waste your money even more, Will? So I
of course.
Before I got to the actual deck that I wanted to play, I actually built 4 different Legacy decks. Like, it just evolved. I was like, my LGS, there was a bunch of lads wanting to go up to Firestorm to play in this big Legacy event that they were having. So I was like, yeah, I'll come. Oh, I'll play Infect because I get to play Infect. Yeah, format that it's actually playable in. So I bought the deck, 4 Trops, all the Wastelands, blah, blah, blah. I was like, cool. Played the deck online, got absolutely destroyed. It was like, this deck is terrible in this meta. Can't play it. So I was like, okay, what else can I play at short notice? Death Shadow, I can use my shocks for that because blah, blah. And then I had a friend selling 2 Underground Seas quite cheap. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll buy 2 Seas. And I was like, okay, well, I didn't take Death Shadow. What else can I play? I was like, well, I can play the Reanimate deck. That's like the blue-black Reanimate list. That's kind of good, one of the tier decks at the minute. So I bought into that. And then I was like, well, I've also got Trops. I've seen the Sultai scam list. I'll play Sultai scam. So then I built that deck. I took it to that event. And bear in mind, I've never played Legacy. Was able to win the event.
No way! And, nice.
It was really cool. I was like, I just sat down against. I got the round 1 bye. I was like, sick and want to know. And then I didn't lose a game of Magic until I got to my first feature match. I've got a terrible feature match record. At that point, I think I was 2-6 or 2-7. I think it was maybe 2-7. I think I went to after that feature match, and then I went out for a day, and then I won all my next feature matches, and took it down. But I was just learning as I go. Like I was like, I don't know what this deck does, but this seems good. And I was playing a very, I was playing a couple of Stifles and lots of Wastelands. So I was going for very mana denial strategies, rip their hand to pieces with reanimating griefs, and then kind of get my value from playing Uros.
Nice, yeah.
And it just worked out to my play style really, really well. And Orcish Bowmaster was an all-star in it, and now Orcish Bowmaster is the only card I don't have the fancy version of yet, because the guy in Pisa that's running Paupergeddon that I told you that tier I'll do anything for. I was literally just looking around to buy the scroll versions from the holiday set of Lord of the Rings that got released. I really like those. I want 4 of those. And I said to him, I was like, look, do you have any of these? I'm looking to buy a couple from different places on Card Market. And he was like, no, I'll get you 4. Just when you come to Pisa, I'll have 4 of them. You can buy 4 in one go for me. I was like, all right, cool, 6. So when we end up going to Pisa, I'll have them as well. I've just upgraded. God, I talk some rubbish. I've just upgraded my One Rings as well to the poster art ones. You know, the ones that they're like unreadable. They're just disgusting. But I've just finished upgrading them. I got the last one this weekend off one of the traders. I was like, I'm just stupid when it comes to. I said to my missus, I'm like, if I die, make sure you get someone that knows what they're doing to value this collection.
Yeah.
Like, don't just put it in a shoebox and take someone on Facebook's word for it. Like, I promise you, I'm not willing to tell you how much this is worth, but I'm willing to tell you that you should get someone to look at this properly, and all my art and stuff as well. Like, I've got. Did you ever see the art that Wizards gave a treasure token to 100 stores around the world? And it was like a metal token of Liliana in black and gold. And it looks beautiful. They got the special artist to do it. And the actual artist made made 100 posters of it in foil.
Oh,
A5.
wow.
And I was lucky enough to be to be able to get on it early. And I was one of the people that pre-ordered it. You couldn't pick a number though. It was just whatever number you order is the number you get. Now I need you to fill for 2 seconds while I run next door and get it and show you what number I got, okay?
Go
Okay,
for it.
say something fancy.
So I'm guessing. I'm not guessing. Not only is it going to be gorgeous, Dom, that it's probably going to get one of the low numbered ones. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I follow the artist on Facebook. I was just trying to, but yeah, I love all of her art. It's brilliant.
Oh, this. I mean, we've spoken about this many times, but art in Magic the Gathering is just incredible.
Her name's Ratcha Lynn.
That's right. Yeah.
This is the
Oh yeah,
the thing.
Oh wow,
that is incredible.
It's beautiful. And then the number I got, can you see?
Is that for anyone that's listening and not watching a YouTube? It's 69. Nice.
Let's go. So happy when I opened that. I was like, because I actually asked, I went, can I get number 3 if it's a thing? They went, no one can pick numbers. I was like, all right, okay, cool. And then obviously it came through and I was 69. I was like, oh, it's even better.
Even better. Yeah, exactly. Even better. That is amazing.
It's a cool. I do like my artwork. I've got more than can fit in this room, and I need to kind of prioritize it a little bit at the minute. My missus is like, you can't hang that up downstairs. So I'm trying to convince her. I'm trying to get art that's nice, that she doesn't know is Magic the Gathering art, but it's actually Magic the Gathering.
I've got this problem with these giant cards. They're not allowed in the sitting room.
I've got a giant Minkskin Boo, and I'm like, where do I put my giant Minkskin Boo? Because I'm a D&D fan.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate is like one of my favorite games of all time. The original 1 and 2 are my favorite games. I know 3 is like a phenomenon at the minute, and it is really good. My only problem with 3 is its 5th edition rules. It's not 2nd edition, and I love 2nd edition. Even though it's still absolutely game. It's literally changing the way you can play games. Like, it's so good.
I want the voice actress to draw it. I want to get her to sign this Lae'zel giant card. I think she's going to be at Comic-Con, and I'll get her to sign that. So
that's cool. I actually want some. So I collect. What don't I collect? I collect stamps as well, just as I was a kid. I collect Sideshow collectible statues. I don't know if you know.
Okay.
What they are.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
I collect Marvel ones and Star Wars ones, and I've got a lot of those downstairs as well.
So they're really high quality.
Really, they're
movie accurate as well, and stuff.
Especially when you like import them to the UK. Import tax is a bitch.
Tell me about it.
And I got a replica Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, like a metal one of them replica, and I took it to Comic-Con. I got Stan Lee to sign it.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
It's pretty sick. I don't know why I don't have it on display. I really should have it on display. But yeah, got the authentication sticker that you definitely couldn't print yourself and put on there. But you know what I mean, like the authentication sticker and Stanley's signature on it. I met him twice.
Wow.
I once was about an hour or 2 away from meeting him at Universal Studios in the Marvel world. He was there, but we were on the other side of the park. And just imagine walking down. If you've never been, it's basically the kind of made. It's one big circle, the whole park, and there's different zones. And there's a Marvel zone, and in that Marvel zone's all like different rides and different shops you can go in and stuff. And it's all decked out like you're in a comic book. And Spider-Man runs around and all that sort of stuff. Imagine just walking down there and Stan Lee just comes out of one of the doors, and you're like,
yeah, that seems crazy.
this is the height of like, you know, the Avengers coming out. Like, everyone knows who Stan Lee is, and he was just there at the park, just like going on the Spider-Man ride. I'm like, imagine sitting next. Oh my god, I couldn't cope.
I had the privilege. Sorry, carry on.
No, go on. Yeah, but I say it's a privilege of seeing him. Right?
Yeah, he at his last European event, he said there was going to be the last time in Europe, and he came and he gave an interview on stage at Comic-Con here, and he was talking about how obviously they had so many piles of artwork back in those times that were just throwing them in the skip.
Oh yeah,
because they had no.
How much did he talk about his wife?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
every single time I've ever seen him, and when you see interviews with him, he just like he would give up everything in the world. It's all about his wife. Like every single time is about his wife this and wife that, and you know his Joni this and this Joni that, and you just sat there and you're like, fuck, they don't make it like that anymore. They don't make they just don't make humans like that anymore. Where you know. It's that sort of dedication. We have like a new sort of dedication, appreciation now, but like, but he was just everything about it. It was just like, yeah, and I drew this comic, and Joni looked at it, and I got inspiration because she once picked up a cat, and I thought, okay, Catwoman, I know that's DC, but it's like, she helped a spider that bit her, so I was like, oh, that'd be a great idea. It was all like you could always find a story back to her, and I always remember him just. Like that was the one thing he talked about more than any in comics, anything like that. It was always just his journey. Because I went when he was in the UK for London Film and Comic-Con, I think it was, something like that. Yeah. And it was like I've got a special ticket, so you have like a meet and greet with him after the event. Like it's a lock-in basically, just you and like 70 other people, and you get to like talk to Stan Lee one-on-one. And he was a bit unwell at the time, so they kind of just did like a big Q&A and gave away loads of like posters and stuff like that, but you get to ask him all these different questions, and it was so cool. Weirdly, I was in America, in Orlando, on holiday again, because that's what I do. And there was Orlando Comic-Con was on, and Stan Lee just happened to be there. So, I told my girlfriend at the time, I was like, we're going there, and I just went, and I was like, that's Stan Lee. And there was a panel, and we just went in, and just sat down in the front, and he's just there. I was like, God, this is random, but I love my life. Like, it's cool. I've took up way too much of your time, gents, and I fully understand that it's getting late in the UK.
I haven't had dinner yet.
I also haven't had dinner yet either. My phone's going off next to me. I'm just ignoring it. I imagine it's my girlfriend going, "Your dinner's on the table." Fiance.
Yeah, You need to work on that, Will.
Yeah, to be fair, she doesn't even have a ring yet. I bought a ring. And I literally took hints for a year of like, oh, what's your size, blah blah blah. And I was like, you should measure it just in case, blah blah. And she measures a ring finger on a bit of paper or something. I didn't know this until later on, and she told me a ring size, so I bought the ring in that size. 6 sizes difference compared to what she actually is. So it's now been
must have loved you.
Yeah, it's now sent away so they can cut a big chunk of it out, and but so currently she doesn't answer the rings. Technically, she's not my fiance until that ring goes on her finger, but it was on there for like a week, and then we had to send it off, so she doesn't have it right now. She's probably listening downstairs now and just going to shout at me when I finish this interview. But here we are. It is what it is. I appreciate it. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. No, thanks very much for joining us. Seek out Will on Twitter at the Will Hall EXP, and where can we find you? Where can we see you casting next?
Every stream but mine. I on more streams that's not mine. It's unreal. Next streams I've got going. I'm doing like the NIGs. I'm doing Paupergeddon. I'm doing. Now it's kind of changing around Europe. It's not going to be these big 2-day events anymore that qualify 36 players for the regional championships. They're kind of loaning it out to smaller TOs around Europe. So, Axion, I'm streaming the Axions, but I'm doing that myself. A backpack stream, I'm going to Nordic Masters in Copenhagen to do their event. I've got Paupergeddon. So yeah, you're probably. I'm doing the RC next weekend actually. This weekend coming on like the 1st of June. I'm doing the American RC.
Nice.
I'm all over the place. You can't get rid of me that easy. You're gonna hear this annoying British voice wherever we go.
Love it.
But I appreciate it, gents.
No, thanks very much for joining us. Yeah, giving up your time. Any feedback, comments, leave us a message on the socials. Will, thanks once again. It's been an absolute pleasure. And yeah, we'll see you all soon.
Take it easy, everyone.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.